Join me as I work on a couple of fall containers. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Horticulture Geek. I'm Ray, and thank you so much for joining me today here on the channel. I'm so glad you've joined me. I'm going to be working on a couple of fall containers today. One of them for sure I have enough stuff for. We'll see how the second one plays out. But it is a overcast, rainy, drizzly day here in Arkansas, which is amazing. It has been weeks and weeks since we've had a good rain. We've had triple-digit heat waves. It's just been awful. So to have this rain and this cool down is really enjoyable. And it has got me into the fall spirit. And I have some plants on hand that I picked up the other day. So I figured I would set the camera up today and work on these containers and bring you guys along for the ride. So hopefully you could see what I'm doing to get started and give you some inspiration to get started at your homes and gardens as well. Let me flip the camera around and we'll go look at the container. You can kind of see it right there, that we're gonna be switching out today for fall. Here we go. All right. So we are going to be tackling the urn today. Let's get over here close to it. And what I had in this urn for summer, as you can tell, was an Ipomea, a sweet potato vine. I had Supertunia Vista Snowdrift, which has given up the ghost. It is done. And there was a lantana in here, which just got suffocated by the other two things and did not grow very well at all. So this urn is just looking shabby and depleted and done. If this urn was still gorgeous, obviously I would leave it alone. But since it's looking shabby, I'm going to go ahead and switch this out for fall. Now, I am going to put a disclaimer here that I do not do a lot of fall things in the back garden here because it's just, I just don't do a lot of fall things back here. I focus my fall mostly on the front. But I am going to do a few things back here just so it's fun, because we've got several weeks into the season before we get our first frost, and things are looking a little tired and shabby. And as you can see, I mean, I've got cleanup that needs to be done back here because of the storm that came through today. So I just want something fresh and pretty back here for a little while. So let's get this urn and get it cleaned out. Here we go. Okay, so I've got the urn all cleaned out and I've got my plants ready for the urn. So in the urn, I'm going to be using a purple fountain grass. All right. Now, this is the exact same purple fountain grass that people plant in the spring that grows all summer long. It is not a frost hardy plant. So once I get a first major frost, this plant will be done, but that's okay. I'm only looking at this for winter interest, and growers do start fresh crops of this, as you can see, specifically for fall planting. And I'm going with the purple theme in this urn for fall. So I've got the purple fountain grass. Then I have two of these purple kales. And let me show you the tag on that. So this is just an ornamental kale. It doesn't tell me like a specific name of this one, but it's a purple kale. And this, if you are new to my channel, an Arkansas Diamonds plant. This is something that I live in Arkansas, and the Arkansas Agricultural Extension offices and everybody got together. These are plants that are certified to be well performers in the state of Arkansas. So much like proven winners plants have been field tested and clinically trialed to make sure that they are high functioning performers in the zones where they are planted. Arkansas Agricultural Extension offices do the exact same thing here in the state of Arkansas. And so whenever you see an Arkansas Diamonds tag, it means that that plant is a high functioning, well performing plant for our growing zone here in Arkansas. So I like to pick these up whenever I can, and these two kales happen to be part of that. And then I have some pansies here. So I've got the Majestic Giants in white with blotch, and the blotch is purple with that tiny little yellow center, which I thought was pretty. And then I have this one, let me flip that around, which is the Majestic Giants purple with blotch. So they are purple solid with just a little bit of yellow right there. So I've got my purple theme. Now this urn is not a huge urn, so I won't be able to put all the pansies in there, and that's okay. But my goal is to get the grass, the 2 kales, and several of the pansies in this urn. So let me set the camera up and we will see what we can do. All right, so that was quick and easy. Got it planted up. I'm gonna water it in, hose off all the extra soil, and get it put on its pedestal, and then I'll show you the end result here in just a second. All right, and here is the second container that I talked about. We're gonna go ahead and knock it out next. So this container is a ceramic container that is made to look kind of like just an old bucket. So I love it. It has a very country vibe. It is frost resistant. So I think it'll be perfect for a fall container. I like the color on it. And the centerpiece is going to be this ornamental pepper. I did pick this up off the clearance rack at my local Lowe's because somebody had forgot to water it and it had started to look shabby. I picked this up like 2 weeks ago. I've been watering it and taking care of it, and it looks fantastic. It is in full bloom, and it does bloom purple. So my purple and white pansies are gonna look great with this plant to fill it out. So let me set the camera up and let's get this planted into this container. Here we go. All right, now I just gotta wash this pot off, water it in, and I'll set it up and show you it. Okay, here is our first one. So obviously everything's a little flopped over right now for it got watered in and manhandled into the pot, but I think it's going to be really pretty once it flushes out a little bit. It'll be a good fall accent. And then closer to Halloween, Thanksgiving, you can come in and put like, I can come in and put a little like decorative pumpkins and stuff like that in there if I want to. But I think it's just a nice, pretty purple fall arrangement. All right, let's go look at the other one, which found its way over here on the coffee table. And again, guys, we just had a storm come through, so pardon the mess. So here's this one. It is going to be the fall centerpiece on the coffee table for a little while. So we've got the beautiful purple blooms on the peppers, then all the gorgeous peppers themselves, underplanted with the purple and white pansies. And I just alternated, so purple, white, purple, white, purple, white, and I got 6 of those all around the pot here. All right, guys, that's it for today's fall planting project. I hope you enjoyed it. And as you can see, there were no mums in either one of those containers. You do not have to use mums. They are very quick-lived. I typically here in central Arkansas, in the south, where it's still pretty warm, I won't plant mums out or really full with mums until October. Our growers here in the area have huge stocks of mums. They've already been out at the big box stores now for 2 to 3 weeks. And so people that ran out and bought those 2 or 3 weeks ago, those mums are already done. They're done and they're dying. They're suffering in the heat that we're having. And so those people are now having to start replacing. And so I leave my summer stuff as long as I can. I will go ahead and start buying up the fall stuff that is appropriate to buy. But with things like mums, I'm gonna wait to the end. And I actually may do a whole separate mum video because there's a lot to know about mums. So if you're interested in a whole separate mum video, when to buy, the different stages of mum blooms, all that stuff, leave me a comment down below, and I'll be happy to scoot over to one of my local garden centers and I can show you mums that are bloomed out, mums that are in peak performance and good to go, so all those different things. But I didn't use them today because I didn't want to. It's still too early for me. But I hope you enjoyed what I did. Obviously went with a very purple theme just because that's what spoke to me when I saw these things. So you can let your heart's desire really show here in fall. You don't have to be limited to certain things. So whatever you can find in your garden centers, whether it's perennials, I know a lot of garden centers are bringing back perennials that happen to be in fall colors right now. Rudbeckias, salvias, all of those things. If they're in fall color and you want to pop them in a container, go for it. There's no rule that says you can't do those things. If it's pretty to you, go for it. And now once your first frost comes, it may nip some of those things and it may be time to put some things in the ground after that. But I know for me here, I've still got a solid month before that happens. So I've got plenty of time, and my guess is a lot of you do too. So don't feel stifled in your creativity. I hope this has inspired you. Now, hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet for some reason, I don't know why you haven't. So hit that subscription bell down below, that subscription, and ring that notification bell because that'll tell you every time we post a new video. And then you can also join me over on Facebook and Instagram. Horticulture Geek has accounts on both those platforms, so you can get the trifecta of your favorite plant geek, Ray, on all 3 platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I would love for you to join me on all 3. Until next time, guys, from my garden to yours, I wish you all the best and happy fall gardening.